Now, Central Oregon's local alert weather with Eric Oren.
Well, good morning, everybody, and a happy day to you. Let's take a look at our current temperatures here on the high desert. We're looking at 20s and 30s here, and we are warming up a little bit today. We should be just a degree or two warmer than yesterday, but generally speaking, we're looking fairly dry, and then we may see a little bit of moisture overnight into tomorrow, but generally speaking, we are looking at a pretty dry and mild pattern here coming up. Let's look at your workday forecast here. High of 47 degrees, and when you're headed into work this morning, it should be around 34 degrees. Sunrise around 7:32 a.m., by the way, and then around noon, we're looking at around 45 degrees. Sometime after that and before you head home from work, sun setting around 4:26 p.m., and a little bit after that should be close to around 38 degrees. Wind out of the southeast today, 10 to 12 miles an hour. May get closer to around 15 miles an hour in some areas later today, but that is about the range we expect to see even into the early morning hours. Now here's a look at your weather headlines. We do see some patchy fog and drizzles early. It should clear up around 10 a.m. We're going to give way to some mostly sunny and partly cloudy conditions here on the high desert, so maybe we'll see a little bit of sun out there. But generally speaking, a dry pattern ahead, despite the fact that we may see just a little bit of precipitation overnight into tomorrow, which does look like it's going to be fairly light. Give you an idea of the satellite and radar of the Pacific Northwest here. You can see some high pressure keeping us pretty uninteresting here. We're looking at mostly cloud cover, a little bit of activity to the northwest of us, but we are staying fairly dry for the day here outside of what little drizzles we may see this morning. Now here's a look at the future track to show you when we may see some of that precipitation early morning tomorrow. There's a look around 7 a.m. You can see some light activity in the mountains and in the southern parts of Deschutes County, and then it's departing to the east of us, and we're really not seeing a whole lot more as a result of that weather system that's going to be making its way towards us Thursday throughout the day. Just wanted to give you an idea there. Now here's a look at a dense fog advisory in place, and that's going to be there until 10 a.m. this morning. Areas highlighted in gray there, just to the north of us and also along portions of the I-5 corridor. So keep that in mind if that's the area through which you commute. Also, an air stagnation advisory in place in much of southern Oregon, and that's going to be in place until Friday around 10 a.m. due to a lack of mixing winds and also just fairly stagnant air, allowing pollutants to just stay in place. So that's going to hopefully expire around 10 o'clock on Friday. Now here's a look at future winds, getting most active a little bit before lunchtime in the 10 to 12 mile an hour range, a little bit calmer in the southern parts of the county, but that's probably where it's going to stay for the most part. As we make our way through the afternoon, we're staying in that 10 to 12 mile an hour range, maybe even peaking up closer to around 15 miles an hour in Madras at certain points of the day, but this is a pretty realistic range to expect for your winds for the day. Now, current temperatures right now on the high desert, you can see, as I mentioned to you, 30s and 40s, and we're warming up to just a degree or two warmer than we were yesterday as we take a look quickly at your highs. It's going to be a fairly warm day in the middle 40s for most of us, just as I mentioned, a degree or two warmer than yesterday, somewhere in the upper 40s. And generally speaking, that's the pattern we're going to see for a little while going forward into the forecast. Take a look at your lows, warmed up a couple of degrees as we're seeing things in the 20s all the way through the lower to middle 30s. Give you an idea what's going on here with your 7-day forecast. Smiley today, he's feeling pretty good. He's got a scarf on. He's just prepared for this fairly mild weather. And then as we make our way through the rest of the week, you do see these temperatures stay fairly mild. And then by the time we hit the middle of next week, we do see a slight chance for some precipitation. That's your local alert weather.